So my first job in Boston, in the US, that opportunity came about because I'd been at a conference where I had spoken up, basically. And so several people afterwards came up to me and said, when will you be finishing your PhD? And when will you be looking for a job? So I was already on people's radar just because I made myself visible at a conference earlier. So I never used alumni to network. I didn't really know how to do that. I think it's a good thing to do. One of the downsides of academia is that name recognition still counts. So if you have, if they know who you are or they've seen you somewhere, you're more likely to be remembered when you apply for positions. Whereas if you send in your CV cold and they've never heard of you, you're usually at a disadvantage. And it's not a good thing about academia, but I think it's definitely still part of the system. And it's something we need to work to change because it creates, in some ways, an old boys network, which is less than ideal, of course. It's hard to visit other institutes, but if there are institutes where you think you might want to work, I would absolutely reach out to anybody that you might know there, or anybody who might know anybody there. Get a contact in that place, and see if you can line up a talk. There's many opportunities these days to give lunch talks in other departments, and you can do it virtually, so you don't even have to travel. So in that sense, it's zero cost. Cost time, certainly, but it's a good way to get yourself known, to get people knowing what you're doing. So I would say that's one way to do it. Another way is attending conferences. I think attending conferences when you're starting out is it's important anyway in any stage of your career, but it's particularly important when you're just starting out, because you need to meet people. You need to find out what they're offering. And it's useful to actually be able to have conversations with people face to face, because then you get to know who they are and whether you really want to work with them or not. Because one of the other difficulties is you might end up, if you apply blind, so to speak, if you apply without knowing somebody or without knowing place, you might end up in an environment that doesn't suit you. So I would say do as much recon as possible. And these days you can do a lot virtually as well. So you just reach out to people. Mostly people are really happy to spend some time talking to you as well about what they're doing. And people, like I said, are always looking for enthusiastic people coming up who might have ideas and might be able to contribute. So if you're doing something relevant, reach out, offer to give a talk, offer to join a discussion in a working group, things like that. Just get used to talking to people. Passive are people that come with their own ideas, that essentially, even if they're not necessarily doable, but they come with their own ideas, that they really thought around a topic, that they're not essentially just following what's happening, but they're actually thinking about how we can build on it. I think that's always extremely impressive when somebody can do that and have energy. But I think the bottom line, what's most impressive is somebody having the passion, basically. So if you can really see that they're interested in what they're doing, that they're enthused by it, that they're motivated by it, I think that's always really impressive. And it's really energizing because it adds energy to everybody working with that person. So I would say that's something that's always quite impressive. But I think having good knowledge around your area and some ideas on what you'd like to do, I think is always, and to be able to think on your feet is also very impressive. But that comes with time as well. It comes with more confidence, the confidence that you build over time. Is you get a chance to do research projects as an undergraduate student. Choose those carefully. Choose something that you really think that you're interested in. Find an advisor that you would like to work with. So talk to people who are offering the projects beforehand. Really try to feel whether that would be a good fit for you or not, and use that experience. So the research project you do as an undergraduate, for me, was really transformative. It decided whether I was going to stay in academia or not. I didn't particularly enjoy lectures and exams by the end of it. I'm not sure anybody does, to be honest. But the research projects I did were just amazing. They were just so much fun, and there was so much more to do, even at the end of it, that I knew it was something that I could really envisage spending time doing. So I would say choose your research projects carefully, and if you enjoy doing that, then you might want to think about pursuing a career in research and academia in this broader area around that.